Good morning. It's Friday, the 11th of September. Now, as many children have gone back to school this week, I thought we ought to start in the same way. So I thought I'd ask you some questions today. But okay, you can relax. There isn't going to be a test at the end of it. The first question is, how do you see the world? Now, in last week's service from St Andrews, Andrew Webb used an illustration, a little bit like this. It was a map of the world, which he used to illustrate one of his points. Most of you will have seen a similar kind of map in your school days or in atlases. A friend tries to wind me up from time to time by insisting that the world really looks like this. Yes, I think he really does believe that the earth is flat. It makes a good debate, but we know that that's pretty misleading. In the 1970s, there was a very interesting development when a man called Arno Peters produced a new map, a little bit like this. Now, to many people, that also seems a little bit odd. But what's the exciting thing about it was, let's have a look. On the first map that we see regularly and is very familiar even today, it comes from 1569, but there are problems with it. Let's have a look. If you look at Greenland and you look at South America, Greenland looks to be far larger than the whole of the continent of South America. But we know for a fact that South America is over 8 times the size of Greenland. So there's something misleading about this map. Peters managed to show them in the correct locations and with their correct sizes. Unfortunately, there are some oddities about Peters' map, which are a bit misleading as well, but we won't go into that. Second question is, how do you see Jesus? I once went into a Methodist chapel that had a portrait on the wall, and I assumed that the people who were worshipping there thought that that was a picture of Jesus. It was a little bit like this one, a man with fair hair, a palish coloured skin, blue eyes, and very much European features. Jane Elliott, who is an octogenarian white American educator, said that if people in her church saw the real Jesus trying to come through the door, they would be alarmed, and some people might actually stop him entering the building. That's a pretty disturbing thought in the first place, but perhaps she was referring to something like this. This is a picture of a man from the Galilean area, so we can assume it's a little bit like Jesus' appearance. But in truth, we really don't know. So perhaps both these pictures are giving us a misleading image of Jesus. The first picture certainly is. My third question is, how do you see this? This is a picture that we've seen on our televisions and in the newspapers quite a lot over the last few months. Dangerously laden small boats crossing the channel to get to Britain. Do you see this as a threat? Do you see this as an invasion? Do you see this as a swamping? Or perhaps you see it as an opportunity to help, an opportunity to support, an opportunity to protect and save. Well, I suppose really you pays your money and you takes your choice. But maybe that's not quite true, because it's not quite as simple as that. There's always a but. See, God is a reconciling God, and the Jesus that we accept may have taught in parables, but he does not give us a misleading view of things and the world. If we follow Jesus, we are part of God's great plan to bring reconciliation between all people and God. Jim Hope, in a recent reflection, pointed us to the letter to the Corinthians, where we are told that God gave us a ministry of reconciliation. And we have the opportunity to show that reconciliation in our everyday life. We have the opportunity to show how life-changing the message that Jesus brought can be, how it creates a healthy relationship with God and between people, no matter who they are. Your job and my job, as we learn to follow Jesus step by step, includes that reconciliation. Because the message that Jesus brought is that we all belong to God together. No separation, no difference in status or worth or colour or race. Yes, we can celebrate diversity, but not division. So, the next time you're in church, in reality, or online, the next time that you're worshipping, just pause and consider how you see these things and how you deal with misleading images. Let us pray. Loving and reconciling God, we thank you that you have created such a wonderful world, full of amazing things and incredible people. We give thanks that you have helped us to understand some of your creation, and that you have provided us with the brains and intellectual skills to continually add to our knowledge. We ask that you will look on us kindly as we sometimes demonstrate our intolerance and prejudice, and fail to be aware of misleading images and news. As we learn more and more about the world, give us courage when the world is rough. Keep us loving though the world is tough. Leap and sing in all we do. Keep us travelling along with you. In the name of your Son, Jesus, our Christ. Amen. Have a good day. Goodbye.